Hey everybody, it's Matt Shu at Upright Health here with my lovely assistant Josh Hash, shooting you the bedroom eyes. And today we are going to be talking about ways to improve your turnout or your external rotation of your femurs when you're in a standing position. So let's say you're trying to go out like that, trying to turn your toes, your feet so that you're pointing your toes away, and you want to do it in such a way that doesn't feel like your knees are going to explode, doesn't feel like your ankles are getting cranked, then you need to actually be able to open up your femurs and externally rotate at the femurs. So Josh, can you show us your gorgeous ballet turnout? Not bad. He's probably not going to be joining the Russian ballet anytime soon, but what we're going to do is work on two different exercises that can help with the muscles that actively need to engage in order to get that turnout. So we've got our box here. You can use a wall. You can use anything that's heavy enough that it isn't going to move. And Josh, how long before your ballet tryouts?
I got a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
So let's work on this.
Intensive training camp right now.
Right here, right now. You should see his pliés. They are incredible. So we're going to use this box, and let's make sure everyone can see this so that we got this turned just so. And Josh is going to be facing in line with the box, and he's going to have his foot on the heel, so the side of his foot can push into the box. And he's basically going to be forcing his hip to create external rotation to push the side of the toes basically into the box. And so first, this is the easier way, is to just start hinging forward. So he's just going to come forward, he's kind of in line with the box, and he's just coming down. He's going to feel some hamstring work, he's going to feel his glutes working. If he has weak and or tight hamstrings, he's going to feel some work happening there, or some irritation. How's that feel there, Josh?
Feels good. Feels like a stretch.
All right.
Feels like my butt is working.
Feel like
all of the above.
Like you're performing in Swan Lake or something. Yeah. So then you can go ahead and come up. So anywhere he feels through that whole range of motion, anywhere he feels that he loses control of external rotation, we're going to want to pause there and really focus on getting that lateral rotation. Right? So you feel any dead zones as you're going through that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can find one of those dead zones so people get an idea of what that's like. So,
okay.
So you went through that whole first couple degrees really easy, and then right here.
Right about here.
So then what does that dead zone feel like?
I just lose the control of my hip. I feel like my hip stops contracting.
Okay, so as soon as you feel a spot like that, you hang out there, you practice those contractions, hold the contraction for 3 to 5 seconds, then relax it, and then do it again so that you gain control right at that angle. So for a lot of us, there are a bunch of weird dead zones in a lot of different ranges of motion. This helps key that back in. So that's getting some external rotation while still actually maintaining his hip in pretty much a neutral position. So we need to get the hip to totally rotate out more, at least. So then we're going to have Josh face you guys, so you get to see his lovely bedroom eyes again. This time his foot's going to be basically in the same position out against the side of the box, and toes are going to be lifted off the floor, and then external rotation. So now you maintain external rotation as you lean forward. Keep that external rotation the whole time. Same rules apply. If you feel dead zones, then you get to stay there and hang out and work to keep that external rotation as much as you can. How does this compare to the other position for you?
It's a little bit harder to keep the external rotation. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it feels pretty similar.
Okay. Definitely going to feel glutes working to keep this going, and then slowly back up. So what we want to do is basically experiment with different angles. You can do this different angles at home. You know, Josh can try going that way a little bit more, like hinging in that direction. He can try changing his foot position a little bit, seeing which seems to be the most challenging for him, and then checking after he's done these, checking to see what helps his lateral rotation more. So let's actually check that now and just see how your turnout feels. I'm tempted to say that's better, but how does that feel for you?
Feels better.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
good.
Definitely made some improvement there.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're not actively stretching anything. We're just turning on the muscles that help you control that turnout. So those are the muscles that pull you out. Once you've been doing that, those muscles are really engaged, and then they just go whoop and help you get that leg way, way, way out. Okay, so we're going to show you one other version of this exercise that you can do when you're just sort of lying on the floor. You don't need anything. It'll look like you're asleep, and maybe you could fall asleep like this before you go to bed every night. You'll have great external rotation when you wake up.
Good dreams about it too.
And here we are with Josh on the floor. And this is a pretty simple to set up exercise. You're just lying face down. You've got your pelvis flat on the floor. Josh is going to be working on this left leg again. And what he's going to do is try to lift the toes up off of the floor. So you probably can't see this, but his toes have just lifted up about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And he's working really hard to get his hamstrings and glutes firing.
Can you feel?
If you could feel what my fingers feel right now.
Be honest with the audience. That's steel right there.
I think I just chipped a nail. I just had these done. And all right, well, I'm not going to touch you with my other fingers. So this right here should be firing up. And then go ahead and relax. You want to hold contractions like this for about 3 to 5 seconds so you really get a chance to fire it up. If you want to hold it longer, that's okay. Sometimes that's helpful to just get your brain talking to these muscles. If you want to do something to make it a little bit harder, if you have a friend, a really good friend who's willing to do this for you, you can just have them hold the toes down and then really try to fight that. So he can feel the pressure of my hand down there, and then his body's really fighting. Ah, the other nail, sweet Lord.
I'm not paying for your nails, man.
Sweet Lord, you're gonna pay somehow for my nails. Go ahead and relax. If you don't have a friend who can do that, what you can do is just throw a weight on top of this. So if you just threw a little pillow here and then throw a weight plate up on top of that, that'll give you some resistance to work against so you can feel that firing. So again, it's the same muscles, except this time there's not a lot of motion, there's not a lot of compensation that happens, and you're in a really hip extended position. So this really closely mimics what you're doing in a standing position when you're trying to do turnout. Another thing you could do is play with the angle of the leg. So if we bring them in closer, so now it's really, really similar to a standing position. You can do that to help improve your neutral hip external rotation. A lot harder this way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's how you do that. So those are 2 exercises that you can do to improve that hip external rotation, improve your turnout from a perspective of trying to strengthen the muscles that are responsible for that. How's that external rotation, Josh? Whew. Okay.
Keep my balance. It's pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good. So you can see no special effects, no acting involved here. Oh, that grand plie is amazing though. All right, everybody. So hope that helps you out, and we hope you remember that pain sucks.
Life shouldn't.
If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.